What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today the topic is the truth about being a content creator. Let's get to it. Now, listen, in the world of YouTube, man, a lot of people look at YouTube and it seems like this glamorous, like fun thing that everybody does, to put out their content. And a lot of times what people do is they find something that they're passionate about or something that they love to talk about or something that they consider a hobby and they decide to find a way to monetize it. And the way to monetize it is to put out content on YouTube. And it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, right? You get to not only monetize what you're passionate about, but also you get to put out that information to other people outside there to share that passion with you. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions, right? A lot of people think raking the money by making the content. Put out the content, raking the money. Now, the problem is it doesn't really work like that. There's a grind. And the reality is there's a lot of commitment involved. There's a lot of planning, there's a lot of scripting, there's a lot of editing, there's even promoting. Because if we're gonna be real about it, you don't just pop up on YouTube and become like this huge sensation, right? I mean, while there's people out there who have done it, case example, Hawk Tour girl.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tour and spit on that thing. You get me?
She is an example of somebody who just overnight became a voice. And look, while that's possible and it happens to some people, it doesn't happen for everybody. So one of the biggest mistakes you can make coming into YouTube is pretending like that person just has to be you. There's a lot of challenges when it comes to YouTube, and staying relevant is one of them. And a lot of it depends on the type of content that you're creating. If you're creating a certain type of content that requires you to stay on top of the latest news, staying relevant is a big thing for you, right? Even if you are a content creator that, does gaming, you have to stay relevant. And staying relevant on YouTube usually means posting consistently. And a lot of people, that's hard for them because a lot of people have mental struggles. Like a lot of people have self-doubt, they have they experience burnout. These are all things that comes with being a content creator. And these are things you got to be ready for mentally. And that's just the reality of it. Got to be ready for these things mentally, and you got to be ready to deal with them when they arise. There's highs when it comes to content creation, right? You get creative freedom. It's just the creative freedom feeling like you provide the content, you decide what you're providing, you talk about what you're talking about, and you can be as passionate as you want to be on camera. It's just something good about sharing your ideas with the world when you're passionate about something or talking about something to the world rather than, talking about it to one person. If you have an audience of people that are willing to listen to you, you got to respect that as such and don't take that for granted, right? And with that also comes the opportunity to build a community, right? You get to build a community with the people that you discuss these things with. Like if you look at my other channel, Big Zo TV, over there we built a Discord community and it's growing every day. I think we're a little bit over 200 at this point. And it's just a community of people who have discussions. And we've built a good community there. And that's one of the good things about content creation. It could be considered one of the highs of content creation. Like even for me with content creation, there's a lot of advantages to it as well because you get to build some skills. Like even with me, man, I feel like since I've been creating YouTube content, I've gained a lot of confidence, and also I've been able to talk to people from different places. Like I think once you start creating content, you start connecting with the people that watch your content, you start to realize how many people from different places, how many people think differently, and how many people have different ideas. And it kind of gives you a good grasp of the world and shows you that this space that you're in is bigger than yourself. That's one of the good things about content creation. Now, here's some of the lows of content creation. With content creation, man, burnout is a thing. Burnout is definitely a thing. There's always the pressure, like I spoke about earlier, to be relevant and always post. There's always pressure to post. And I think the best thing to do is approach it by giving yourself some grace, man. Like, don't put the pressure on yourself and don't allow people to pressure you. Roll out your content in a schedule that works for you. Don't get out here and feel like you got to put a video out every day and please people. Sometimes you suffer from feeling like the people out there are doing things better than you are. So a lot of people feel the constant pressure to go out there and post a video because one of their competitors is posting videos every single day. You got to have tunnel vision. You got to worry about yourself. Right now is not the time to be worrying about competition and all this other stuff. You have something unique and it's your personality and you have to show that. And this is why the people watch you, because they want to see your personality. Even if they heard about a story that you're going to talk about from a different content creator, sometimes sometimes they want to hear your perspective on it because your perspective is going to be different from that person they just watched. Now, another thing that comes with content creation is criticism. You got to deal with criticism, man, and you got to find a way to deal with the criticism. Everybody has their own methods, but you personally have to find a way to deal with criticism. Criticism is one of the biggest things, I think, in my book, because a lot of people out there don't put out content for this specific reason. Or some people put out content and they get criticized initially the first time they put out the content, and it's the end of the world. They want to stop, pack it up, start wrapping up HDMI cords and getting the fuck up out of here. You can't move like that. You got to be open to the criticism, and you got to have tough skin if you're going to create content. And also, when you're out here on these YouTube streets, man, you got to understand, depending on the content you're creating, let's say your content is based on the latest trends, you might feel that pressure to always feel like you have to chase the latest trend. And it really depends on the type of content you create. And I understand how it could feel if there's a current trend and you're working on a video and you haven't finished that video yet, and you see this content creator putting out this and they're putting out that. It's on the same topic that you're trying to talk about. That could be stressful for a lot of people. But again, this is why you have to find your lane. You have to think about what's important to you. Do you want to build an audience that just gravitates to the first thing they see? Or do you want to create an audience that actually cares about what you're saying? I think the second one is probably the best way to go. Finding a balance and staying true to yourself is super important. Like, you have to prioritize mental health. Mental health is super important. I feel like some people don't get this. You gotta take breaks. YouTube could make you feel like you gotta grind 24/7, don't take no breaks, content, record. You have to take breaks. At your job or whatever you do, you take breaks, don't you? So why would you come onto this YouTube thing and feel like you can't take any breaks and you have to keep going? Like, you can't create legitimate content if you don't take breaks. Like, some people do it, but you start to see it in their work, and you don't want to be that person. Also, you don't want to create something for people that you cannot sustain. Like, think about it like this. Okay, fine. You post a video every single day for a whole month because you decided you're going to post a video every single day. Once your followers get used to that, what are the chances that you can maintain that for as long as you run that channel? These are things that you got to consider. Set a number and over deliver when you can. Always stick to that standard, that number. If I tell people that I'm going to post one video every week and 1 week I happen to do 3, that's a bonus. But I know that for sure that I will do at least one video for that week. And I think that's how you got to move with it. You got to remember to prioritize your health. Don't let your health become a second thought when it comes to this YouTube stuff, man. You gotta stay true to yourself. And when you really look at the people who watch these YouTube videos, a lot of people, they rather have someone authentic than to have somebody who's out there chasing trends and chasing stories and clickbaiting. They would rather have someone who's actually sitting there and putting great content together for them to watch. Now look, I want to kind of close this off with advice for aspiring creators. And I'm not speaking like I'm this guy with like 1 million followers and I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm not speaking from that. I'm speaking from a place of where I have learned so far. One of the things I could tell you is to start small. Don't go chasing these huge channels and feeling like you have to be that in a year. You want to get on YouTube and encourage your viewers to focus on quality over quantity. Like, okay, you might put out one video a week, but if you make sure that that one video you put out each week, quality audio, quality video, everything, I think they'll appreciate that a lot more. And also just be consistent. Create a content schedule, man. I mean, depending on the content that you create, you can create content schedule that works for you. One day you could dedicate to editing. Another day you could dedicate to recording. Another day you could dedicate to script writing if you script write. Now, if you're somebody that's doing current events, current trending topics, sometimes it's hard to follow that. But maybe you kind of combine two. Maybe you do scripting and recording in the same day. Or maybe you do it all in one day. But maybe you limit yourself to the amount of videos that you do. Feel me? And also the last thing is you just gotta have patience, man. Have patience. Like, have patience and understand that these things take time, man. It takes time. Like, you're not gonna just go crazy overnight. Like, I have several channels, man. I have channels where you don't see my face at all. Big Zo TV and this channel will probably be the channels where you even see me at all. All the other channels, you do not see me. So I know firsthand how long it's taken me to grow those channels. You know, it's taking time, and people will subscribe, people will watch, but you have to give it time. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the way I stay motivated to continue to do YouTube is I just continue to innovate, man. I find new ways to make my content better, and it makes me want to do different things. And I feel like that's the way to try not to burn out, to prevent yourself from burning out, is just find new ways to innovate your content, whether it's new equipment, whether it's new lighting, whether it's new setup, whether you start talking about different things a different ways, your structure. Always try to innovate and make your content better for your viewers, and they'll reward you for it by showing their support. Now, listen, if you're in the comments and you a YouTuber or aspiring YouTuber and you want to share your experiences with YouTube, or you want to share what's stopping you from YouTube, let me know in the comment section, man. And listen, there will be more videos like this. If you're on Big Zo TV right now, make sure you follow the channel for this video, which will be up by the time this video comes up. It should be in the description and the comment section, and subscribe to that channel for more videos like this, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Big Zo, let's go.